Hi, this is Linda and Aaron with Traveling Flamingo, and I know we love going to Disney, as many of you guys do as well, but it can definitely get expensive. So we've compiled a whole bunch of our best money saving tips for you guys. This year is also the 50th anniversary for Disney World, and a lot of people are already booking up their trip. And it's very easy to get caught up in the magic and start spending more money than expected, especially this year with COVID. Last year, it's been a little crazy. So I think that as we're looking to be planning our trips, many of us are traveling on a budget, and these tips can really help make a big impact for you. We've broken it down into 4 categories: food, merchandise, accommodations, and tickets. So all that and more coming right up.
So as Linda said, we're going to start off with one of our favorite categories, food. So one of the things that you can do is plan how many meals out you're going to have and how many table service, which are generally more expensive, versus quick service meals you're going to have. You're going to want to prioritize what restaurants you want to go to and where you really want to spend your money when it comes to the different table service and quick service restaurants. Also, you'll want to book these ahead. There's a 60-day, you can book 60 days in advance. Used to be longer, I think 180 days, but with COVID, they shrunk it down to 60 days. And you're going to want to be on top of booking those restaurants because they do go quick. So if there are some restaurants you really want to try, some reservations that your family really wants, you're going to want to prioritize those and make sure you get them, booking them 60 days in advance. Additionally, groceries are another great option. You can get groceries either delivered to your hotel room through services like Garden Grocer, which is one that we've used, or if you already have an Amazon US account, you can have food delivered through Amazon, for instance, in advance of your trip, and they will hold it for you before you get there. So we've done this where we've had it delivered in the morning and then we arrive in the afternoon and it's all there for us. So this is a good option for stuff like breakfast, lunch, maybe sandwiches that you want to take while you're on the go. This also gives you more time in the parks, so you're able to spend more time on rides or in lines while you're eating your lunch. Also, set a daily budget, especially for stuff like food and wine. They have various different festivals where you can go and have a bunch of little samplings of food from different pavilions. Those things you'll probably want to have Disney gift cards that you can use to sort of limit how much you're spending, because you can definitely spend a lot more than normal. And another tip is bring a water bottle. We use filtered water bottles, so it's a water bottle that's got a charcoal filter in it. You'll notice that there's sometimes a bit of a smell with Florida water that comes out of the taps. And we find that this eliminates that smell and prevents you from having to buy the horribly expensive bottles of water that you would normally get. Of course, if you're getting food delivered to your home, just add some bottled water into that delivery, and you can take those into the parks as well.
I agree with Aaron. The water bottle is a great way to quickly bring down the amount of money that you're spending, especially we often go in the summer when it is hot, and we would be buying quite a few of those disposable water bottles. Another option is a resort refillable mug. So these are little travel mugs that you can be filling up at your resorts, and they have a variety of different beverages from pop to lemonade, and you can even use them for hot drinks, which is nice, but you can only fill them up at resorts. So this is great if you're planning on spending a couple days at your resort, or if you know that you've got little ones that are going to be like enjoying drinking a lot of juices, then this is a good option for you as well. Along with the refillable theme is the refillable popcorn containers. So we often like getting them at the start of our trip, and they have different themes for the different time of year that you're there. But this is another great option for quick snacks as you go around, that you can use your refillable popcorn container and it doesn't cost as much. Finally, for food, is Disney does offer a dining plan. They have a variety of dining plans depending on what is going to work best for you and your family. One of the benefits of this is that you can prepay this. So many of your meal costs will be paid in advance of your trip, which is really nice for a lot of families as you're budgeting out those bills. And if you haven't used up all your credits, because you get a certain amount of snack credits a day, make sure that you go to one of the stores and get as many of those little treats as you can to bring them home and enjoy them when you get home, because you've paid for those snacks, so make sure that you're using them up.
Especially with the refillable popcorn buckets. Don't forget, in Epcot, they do have four different types of popcorn. They have cheddar cheese popcorn, buffalo blue cheese popcorn, sour cream popcorn, or sour cream and onion popcorn, and they also have a maple popcorn at the Canada Pavilion. So definitely an important one to have when you're in Epcot, because they got a bunch of different popcorn. You do have to find that cart, but when you do find it, you can use it there too. Now on to merchandise. We know it's very easy to go crazy with merchandise at Disney, buying ears and porgs and all sorts of other things. But some of the things that you can do specifically for kids, you can budget with gift cards. So if they have a limit on their gift card, they can try, depending on how old they are, to stay within that limit and identify what stuff they want to take as souvenirs from the parks. Don't forget as well, if you do use those gift cards, some places will give you a discount, like Target or Sam's Club has occasionally a 5% discount off of those. So it can make those gift cards a little bit cheaper. And if you're buying the gift cards in the parks and you're trying to use your Magic Band, unfortunately, you won't be able to. You're going to have to bring a credit card with you because you can't use your Magic Band to purchase gift cards within the park. Also, if you're going to be visiting more than just Disney World and you do have access to a vehicle, there are Disney character warehouses. There's 2 of them. They're right near Disney. There's not a far drive away from Disney Springs, and they're basically outlets so that you can get discounts on all the different park merchandise. You can also find stuff from events that might have just been finished. So if there's anything out there that you really want or something you saw online but you weren't there for the event, you can probably find it in one of the character warehouses, and you can usually get a pretty good discount. We've gotten a bunch of stuff for our house from there.
Yeah, I agree, Aaron. Setting a budget is definitely important. I know for myself, I love getting mugs, and Disney's merchandising and advertising is so good. They just put a Mickey head on anything and you can go crazy with it. So I have to keep in mind how much I plan on getting each day as well. A great tip, especially if you want to surprise your kids and keep the budget down, is before you leave, you can get some gifts and packages that you'll take with you and then give them throughout your trip in the morning or while you're out. And it helps keep the magic going, a little surprise of getting something new without paying the park prices. Something else to take into consideration, which might be new since your last visit, is wearing a mask. You definitely want to bring a mask. Actually, bring a lot of masks. You're going to want to be able to change them out if it gets wet or uncomfortable. They can get lost. So just having them with you means that you have the ones that you know are comfortable for you. And again, you're not having to pay those prices. And it is Florida, so there's a high chance it's going to rain. You'll want to make sure you've got ponchos or umbrellas. All because it's raining does not mean that the fun has to stop. Actually, sometimes we've been able to get from place to place pretty quickly and really enjoy our time even though it is raining. So bringing the poncho or umbrella with you will save you paying those costs as well.
One other little sort of insider tip when it comes to rain, it's less relevant now because the fast passes aren't open, but if you do have an extra spot in your fast passes, hopefully when COVID's over, you can tell it's about to rain, you can quickly sort of ninja book something that is going to be canceled. So for instance, Big Thunder Mountain, because it's an outdoor ride, and when it starts raining and they cancel it, you will then get either a pass to come back to that ride or other rides, and those other rides might be more interesting. And so you can kind of use the system, if you know it's about to rain, to book a reservation for something that is inevitably going to get canceled, and then you used to get a pass for any ride, which was better, but now you get different rides in those categories. But there could be something in there that your family does want to ride that you didn't already have a fast pass for, or it was already full. On to lodging or your resort. So there are 3 different levels of properties. There's value, moderate, and deluxe, and those are there to suit your budget. So go ahead and check out what the price ranges of each of those are, and that can help you definitely reduce your costs, because don't forget, you're really just sleeping there. You can also, normally, but not during COVID, book fast passes earlier. So you can usually book it 120 days in advance. Otherwise, I think it was 60 days in advance. But with COVID right now, it's just 60 days in advance. So there's no specific benefit to that. But assuming when COVID's over, if you are staying on property, you do get to book earlier, and that can really help for new rides. So, in Ratatouille's, the Ratatouille ride is open. You're probably going to need to be staying on property to score one of those. That happened with the Flight of Passage when it came out, that it was just so hard for anybody who wasn't staying on property to book it. The level of resort that you choose does affect what's at your resort. So for instance, deluxes usually have spas or has close access to spas. And the types of dining that you have is also sort of determines by that. So your specialty restaurant, for instance, the sort of fancy sit-down restaurants, they'll generally be in deluxe resorts. You'll have sort of regular table service restaurants, and moderates and values are usually more cafeteria style. It does sort of change depending on the hotel, but that's the general gist of it. But again, they all do have food, and they all do allow you to have access to booking in the parks early. One of the changes that has happened as of January 1st, 2021, you will no longer get a complimentary Magic Band, unfortunately. You can purchase them ahead of time. You can purchase them on the Disney site. You can also get a discount if you purchase it with your hotel stay. You can reuse old bands. I'm sure many of us have a bunch of them. Or you can use a mobile app. Now, another money-saving tip, and we have fallen into this many of times. I think Linda has expressed her displeasure when I forget to pack something when it comes to toiletries or different things like Tylenol and stuff that you might need. You can get those in every hotel. Also, the theme parks usually have a place where you can pick something like that up. However, you do pay a premium for that. So if you do forget something, it might be better just to Amazon ship it to your hotel. You do pay for package handling from Disney. It's a small fee. So if you've got a bunch of things you need, it could be worthwhile. Otherwise, you can go to other areas to get it. Like there's a Target that you can go to pick that stuff up. Or just for the convenience, you can get it in the hotel. But you do pay a premium. And so you probably want to try to remember to pack it. And if you don't remember to pack it, you can definitely either get it delivered or go pick it up at one of the places around the property area. So additionally, with your resorts, you can also book the Swan and Dolphin Hotel. So the Swan and Dolphin Hotel is on property. It's right there between Hollywood Studios and Epcot, right across or right by Boardwalk. And it is on property. And it's actually owned by Marriott, or it's a Marriott affiliated hotel. And you can book there with your Marriott points. However, you do get the advantage of being able to book rides 120 days in advance. Obviously, with COVID, as we said, it's not necessarily a perk right now, but it is on property and you can take advantage of all the different stuff there. Quick walk to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Additionally, you can book outside of the Disney World bubble. You can book for just about any hotel chain you can think of. And it's actually probably a bit better to do that nowadays because they don't have you don't have to worry about your FastPass booking. So there's really no disadvantage. You can save some money. However, transportation can take longer. And sometimes you need to go to different parts to get that transportation. So absolutely up to you. But a good way to save money on lodging is to either choose more of a value resort or just don't stay on property and stay off property. We know a lot of people find staying on property does make their Disney vacation better. Not everybody feels that way. Another way that you can save some money and stay on Disney property is by renting Disney Vacation Club points. So this can be very complicated. We're going to create a whole video on this shortly, but it's a great way to save some money. There's sites like dbcrequest.com, which is a fellow Canadian small business, and they do this for people from all over the world. We have used David's Vacation Club rentals a few times ourselves, and it can be absolutely a great option. We'll put a link in the description. We have no affiliation with them at all, but we've used them a few times and we recommend their service.
Thinking of some budget saving tips for as soon as you arrive, even before you get to your lodging, is transportation from the airport. Disney does offer the Magical Express, which is free. It's a bus from the Orlando airport to your resort. Sometimes you do have to wait a little bit. However, it will save you, as an Uber can cost about $50 or Uber Lyft, the ride shares. Alternatively, if you're looking for one of those extremely fun minivans, they are $155. So picking which option is best for you and your family. Another option that I know a lot of people like to use is renting their own cars. Something that may have changed if you haven't been to Disney in a while is that you do now have to pay for parking at resorts. So